The first step in the process of purchasing your home, or perhaps even a multi-family unit building, is to arrange financing and to figure out how it will be that you will pay for this purchase. Now, there are some people who have sufficient money that they can pay cash up front. For others, they don't have all the cash, and so they have to borrow money in some fashion. There are a number of different approaches to this, and depending on your circumstances, you may choose one or the other of these different choices. So typically, if you're borrowing money, the lender will either be a conventional lender, which is a banking institute, and the banking institution of some sort, the lending institution, will have typically the best rates, interest rates. On the other hand, there are a lot more things you have to jump through, a lot more hoops you have to jump through, and a lot more requirements they will require, and it takes a lot longer for this process to occur. And because of that, in certain competitive markets where it's more what we call a seller's market, then having even the conventional loan process takes such a long time that the seller wants a faster turnaround, and so you will not be at the high priority of that seller as far as the bids that come in. Now, if yours is the only bid, then of course they will look on it much more favorably. So there's the conventional loans, and then there are loans through private brokers, and that is where it's a little more complicated, but it's private lenders will look at your situation. Now, in each of these situations, there's a certain amount of down payment that you typically will make in order for the lender to realize that you have what's called skin in the game, that you've put some of your financial wealth into the house yourself or the building, and so that if there's a complication, that you're more likely to go ahead and follow through and pay back the loan that you have taken on and that they have lent you, and you won't just walk away. So those down payments can be a wide variety of different amounts, up to 20%, 30%, even 50% at times if you have it, to make your loan more, the loan terms much more favorable for you, and the lender would be much more happy. But of course 20% is kind of standard. At times there's 10% plus a second mortgage, and in special circumstances you may be able to get a loan that is a much lower down payment, and there are a number of programs that are subsidized in that fashion from different lending institutions. And in those circumstances, the process takes longer. So once again, it's quite important to get started early on in getting your financial picture together, getting pre-approved, know how much you are qualified to borrow and under what general terms, so that when you go in and you find that house that matches what you think you can afford, and once again the purchase price, and then you figure probably at least another 10% on top of that for all kinds of fees, closing costs, the agency commissions, etc. Sometimes there's transfer fees that cities have, but so anywhere from an additional 10-12% added on to the purchase price is what you need to consider as being what amount of money you have to come up with. So of course we are connected with a number of very, very qualified lending brokers, lending individuals, people who are able to talk you through this process, and based on your certain circumstances can come up with some of the best possible approaches so that you can get qualified, so that you get approved for a certain amount, so that when we do find that magic house you want to bid on and you offer your bid using the purchase agreement, then we can attach that letter already saying that you have been pre-approved to purchase the home, and that makes you have a very strong position. So that's my brief overview of financing. And any other details we'll talk about in person. Thank you so much. This is Dr. J, working to help you find and purchase the house of your dreams, or even sell your house so you can move into another one more suitable.